Number 10.
Yeah, I like the value, obviously. I wasn't as high on Shedeur as some folks like Mel Kiper Jr. were, but I did think that he was a second-round pick in this draft, so to get him in the 5th round represents an obvious value, and I do like the scheme fit with Kevin Stefanski's play-action base. They're going to run the ball with Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson added in this draft at running back, so the fit is good. I also like that he's going to be behind some established veterans in Joe Flacco. Kenny Pickett probably sticks around, so he's going to have an opportunity to learn from some players who were first-round picks previously, and he can get acclimated to the NFL. Now, Cam Ward is probably the least talked about number 1 overall pick since I've been doing this. Cam Ward is a baller. He's a playmaker. The fit with Tennessee is going to be fantastic. I wish they had a couple more weapons for him. You can't fill every need in one draft or one offseason, unfortunately, but his arm talent, his ability, the way that he can move in and out of the pocket to find passing windows and then hit you with that shortstop motion. He dials up velocity really, really well. So Cam Ward, a great fit with the Titans. Now, I like the Jalen Milroe fit a lot with the Seattle Seahawks. He's not going to be pressured to play right away. Sam Darnold's there. But we do have a team with Clint Kubiak as the offensive coordinator, who I believe will get him on the field early in some packages as a runner. And that's where he is elite. He could be one of the best running quarterbacks in the entire NFL. So we should see him in some goal line packages. We could even see him in some short yardage packages, taking snaps out of the backfield. And finally, lose guy, Tyler Shough. I didn't like the value. I thought it was a little bit of a reach at 40. However, the Saints need a quarterback who can play right away. After Cam Ward, Tyler Shough is the most pro-ready quarterback in the entire 2025 draft class, thanks to his experience in college from Oregon to Texas Tech to Louisville. He is ready to go right away, and he has some weapons to work with and an improved offensive line down in New Orleans.
All right, Lou, I'm getting to you on Shough because I know you're itching to talk about him. But quickly, Matt, why was it a reach for you to get him at 40?
Yeah, I thought he was more of a, just on value, I thought he was more of a late second, early third-round pick was where I had him rated. I do worry. My only concern with Tyler Shough is, did he figure it out at age 25 because he's been in college for 6 or 7 years? And that's a question that really can't be answered until he gets to the NFL. Is he topped out because he's been in college for so long? This guy was Justin Herbert's backup at Oregon. He's been there for a minute. So did he find that success this past year based on his age and the reps that he's had? Or sometimes it's just a guy breaks through. It happened to Jayden Daniels. It happened to Joe Burrow. So we'll see once he gets out on the field. We've
sufficiently annoyed Lewis, which is perfect, as you can go ahead, Lou, and defend your guy. Why is Shough ready to start right now for the Saints?
Well, look, he has been around for a little while. The only thing that I got annoyed by is, like, has he topped out? I mean, Geno Smith was in the league how long before he actually hit his stride? Sam Darnold has been in the league how long before he actually hit his stride? Tyler Shough's age is so overblown, it's absolutely ridiculous, okay? It's overblown. At 25, we're talking about him like he's Tom Brady, like he's 48, and we're like, oh, my God, he might not make it through his first contract. Look, he is someone who has been tutored by two of the very best in all of college football, in Jeff and Brian Brom. Jeff Brom is made for the pro game. Jeff Brom should be getting head coaching interviews to coach in the NFL. Why? Because his offense mirrors everything that you see on Sundays. The way in which he installs offense mirrors what you see on Sunday. The way in which he teaches the quarterback position in terms of protections, identifying defenses, going through progressions, the kind of footwork, the kind of decision-making you need to have. These are all things that he's done in his career as a player. He's done it as a coach. He transferred them over to Tyler Shough, who really, when I talked to Jeff down in Louisville this year, doesn't have a whole lot of deficiencies. He doesn't have, he's plenty mobile in the pocket. He runs 4.6 at 220 pounds. He's got a rocket arm. He's super smart. They couldn't overload him. Here's the number one issue with Tyler, which was he broke his collarbone twice and broke his lower leg. And his lower leg was broken because of a hip drop tackle. Somebody rolled on it. Well, if you tell me a way in which you can prevent that, there's some kind of leg lift or plyometric you can do to prevent someone from rolling on your lower leg and breaking it, I'd like to hear it, because you're probably going to be a multi-billionaire. This guy's going to be just fine. Kellen Moore targeted this guy. If you listen to Kellen Moore talk about him through the pre-draft process, they speak the same language. Tyler will hit the ground running. Tyler's going to have a chance to be the day one starter, because we don't know what's going on with Derek Carr. We don't know what that shoulder looks like. He's in such a unique position, and I think he is uniquely qualified to handle it.
I mean, look, I don't have anything else. I mean, Lou ate the whole meal when talking about Tyler Shough.
What did it taste like, Lou?
I'm telling you, dog. But what I will say is this, Lou. What I will say is this. When I had the conversation over the phone talking about it, the older quarterbacks have found early success in the NFL, and all I had to attribute it to was two guys that Matt mentioned, and Joe Burrow and Jayden Daniels. And coming out of college, whether that's maturity, whether that's understanding how to handle the mental aspect of the NFL, that maturity somehow I think plays into how well these guys have played early, beyond the amount of reps that they've had in college as well. So, and New Orleans needed a quarterback. I didn't feel like it was a reach. I disagree with Matt on that because of the status of where they are with Derek Carr. But ultimately, hopefully, he can stay in that same vein of the older college quarterbacks that have come out and found a tremendous amount of success. One that I didn't mention is Bo Nix as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at his age, you can look at that many different ways. I love the fact that Lewis says Kellen Moore and Tyler Shough speak the same language. Well, they should. They were born around the same time. You know, I think about where I was when I was 25. You know, when I was 25,
there you go.
So,
when I was 25, I was starting in Washington with the late great Sean Taylor. But that didn't mean I didn't continue to grow. I didn't continue to progress. I didn't continue to ascend. What that does tell me is Tyler Shough may be in a position of maturity where he is ready to start in New Orleans, which isn't a perfect place for a young rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
You will need a level of maturity. You will need to understand how to handle adversity. I believe Tyler Shough has some experience in that. What I do know is he can flat out throw a football. He understands where it needs to go, when it needs to get there, and exactly where it needs to be on the receiver to give him the best opportunity to catch the ball. That's what it takes to be a quarterback in this league. There's enough film on him to know what he can do well. He also has enough experience to communicate that to Kellen Moore. I believe this is an extremely good pick for the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be, do they have enough around him to protect this quarterback and allow him to grow?
Lou wanted dessert there for a second. I see you asking for a little more.
You see those hand signals?
I saw you
right there. I just wanted to say one other thing. Last year, remember, a lot of the talk surrounding Bo Nix centered around his age.
Chad, I have one question.
Centered around the fact that he had been in college a long time, and we were like, hey, you know what? Bo Nix may be topped out. Bo Nix may not get any better. But Sean Payton saw something that a lot of people didn't. And a little birdie has told me Sean Payton really likes Tyler Shough, even though he didn't need a quarterback.
I heard that, birdie.
I have one question for you guys. How is it that I'm on today with the three best dressed men at ESPN, and I'm the only one that wore a suit and tie?
Yeah, what is
happened
happening
here today?
there?
There was a group text that went out.
Because
You
you,
didn't get that
think it's mid-November.
ESPN.
Matt, that's because I
you
do
think
it
it's
so much.
mid-November.
I ain't got nothing to prove.
Oh, listen, I was about to say mid-November, Swagoo. Were you wearing a suit and a tie in mid-November either? I don't think so, which is totally great. We don't need to wear that on this show. But Matt, we're going to see when you come back if you have an outfit change. Like you could go take your tie off.
It's okay to fit in.
It up a little bit.
Bro.
It's okay to fit in.
Do it.
You're standing out for many reasons amongst this group.
We're going to leave it there. When we come back, we're talking about more on these Steelers quarterbacks. What's going on in the Steel City? I can't stand you, Brian Clark. They're hedging all their bets on Aaron Rodgers. You won't believe what Marcus thinks about Pittsburgh's future under center.
Thổ lộ 30 điểm. Chào chào mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng vòng hạt nhựa. Bây giờ mình sẽ bắt đầu làm.
Nói chuyện với khách hàng để ra tiền, nói chuyện với khéo này.
Khéo nghe.
Không khéo không phải học để khéo.
Cái kiểu người á. Thôi chẳng nói.
Cái kiểu người.
Cái kiểu người làm gì chán đấy thì khéo ở đâu. Mà tập làm quen thì quen thế nào được.
Thì đấy là nghề thoát ra tiền.
Thoát ra tiền, ai cũng làm được dễ thế thì ai cũng giàu. Nói chuyện cụt đầu cụt đuôi, nói toàn nói khúc giữa xong não ai nảy số nhanh lắm thì cũng cứ hiểu được một phần.
Nói như thế không hiểu. Làm kém thế. Em đây phải nói chuyện với thằng Luân đấy, Luân Mai Cư đầu ngõ này, thằng đấy nói chuyện như vậy đọc chưa mà không hiểu một cái gì luôn.
Em không tin anh Tuấn nhà em đi làm cái đấy làm được nhá.
Chỉ
giờ đó sáng mặc sơ viên đeo bàn lô, nhưng mà nhìn như giám đốc.
Nhìn như bạn đang cơ. Bọn đấy còn phải quần vải, giày tây, áo sơ mi, còn thế mà.
Đấy không phải là em chê, không phải là ai làm mà em chê, nhưng mà nếu mà làm được như thế thì đã không lêu lỏng suốt ngày như thế này. Nhảy nhót bao nhiêu cái loại nghề rồi chứ không phải là không đâu. Như con chim chích. Biết đâu anh này.
Đấy là nghề chưa học, chưa người ta bảo gì?
Nghề chọn người chứ người không chọn nghề. Nghe.
Thế bây giờ tự nhiên là đi làm cái này thì ấy sao?
Anh chưa đi học. Em thầy luôn làm cái này mà nó ra tiền nữa. Em hôm nào cũng phải ra đây em túc trực 24/24 cho em tiền suốt. Nếu mà lần chơi em mới chửi hát. Lần trước em giới thiệu cho cái chị á, mặc dù là nó không đến đâu, mới chỉ giới thiệu được Facebook các kiểu hai người cái bạn đi nhau thôi. Cho em tiền ăn này ăn kia kinh lắm, biết định lắm.
Xí trả gì nữa.
Xong đùng một phát chị đấy lấy chồng. Chị đây có người yêu nhưng mà chị không bảo. Phát một phát chị đi lấy. Thế là từ đấy trở đi em thấy em món luôn. Không xin được cái gì nữa.
Giới thiệu cho người như thế may là em không đánh được phải chị được.
Thế nó gọi bố xuống cơ. Người anh đã nấu cơm nữa. Vị trí từ chính đó. Ôi, thế thôi, lúc sáng này để em không thích ở đâu ấy. Không ăn luôn. Làm media. Đổ Long luôn, bao cái chèo lên. Long nó bảo, Long nó còn đang hỏi em là mẹ có đi với ai không, đèo ta đi học, người ta hết tiền đổ xăng rồi đấy. Em ta đi con Dương. Đúng thật. Ôi giờ em chỉ thích nhảy em chỉ ước có cái xe điện để em đi thôi nhé.
Đây là cái xe điện là gì nhỉ?
Em lười, giờ lười đi xe máy kinh khủng.
Đi xe điện.
Ôi thà đi bộ đi làm còn hơn đi xe đấy. Tài lắm nhá. Xe để ở nhà, cả tuần đi đến có 2 lần đi học, 2 buổi đi học, mà cứ đến ngày đấy, cứ đến thứ 5 hàng tuần là lại được đổ xăng 1 lần. Có đi 2 buổi rồi đấy. Để xe 50 cái gì? Vâng, cứ để xe ở nhà lấy hết xăng thôi. Đi cũng hết xăng mà không đi cũng hết xăng. Mà hết xăng thì lại tất bảo mình đổ. Tài lắm, không biết ai đi, hỏi thì không ai nhận.
Không biết thì nhận được vậy. Ngu à mà tao.
Đâu có bảo chiều nay á? Biết. Nó bảo chiều nay hay mai? Chiều nay làm gì? Anh em không có bị mà. Vâng. Ủa sao chị có Phương đi học? Phương đấy nghỉ thực tập thì giờ vẫn phải đi học.
Đi học đâu? Sáng bữa thì đi chơi sao?
Hình như là bây giờ bọn em bên nghề được nghỉ hết rồi sao?
Vừa sáng này bọn anh em sáng gặp ở sáng là học không?
Không có Phương ăn học. Anh là ai?
Mấy thằng
Đại.
Thằng
Đào.
Người yêu rồi.
Đào anh Đại. Cái chị nó đi học ra bao lâu mà?
Em gái em gì?
Ừ. Không. Phương này nhỏ.
Phương này biết được chơi cái nào.
Sao? Chơi với thằng Đông Anh.